I'm Riley Harvey for V-Cycling News, and you join us tonight with the Heroica series put on by the Moon Riders. We are on Canary Wharf tonight having an elimination battle. We are having 3 positioning laps, which will then be followed by 1 elimination per lap until there are only 3 riders left, at which point they will then battle it out for the victory. Got some chat going on in game. All the riders happy to have a chat prior to starting the race. We have got some team real race bots in tonight, as well as the riders that are taking part. The Heroica series has been taking part across 3 different time zones: the Pacifica, the European and the American time zone, the Americas. The Americas are being covered by Jim Lawyer for VCN and are on there all the time, regularly covered. The European series being covered by myself generally, and I try and cover them as frequently as possible, but not always able to get in on the Tuesday evenings to cover these events. Moon Riders are also planning another tour coming up shortly, which will be a 7-day straight tour, which will be, I think it's the best 5 of 7 for that tour that will be the rides that count. They've come up with this format which I think works pretty well for a lot of people in the virtual world, in that you don't have to take part in every single one of the races that they put on, which for a lot of people with a working life and family to deal with, it's a much easier way. You can drop a race and you can still be in contention for the overall GC. I must say the Canary Wharf course is looking fantastic tonight. Nice bit of a shimmer from the moist tarmac there. 2 minutes and 55 left to go. So the series that they're doing at the moment, which takes place on Tuesday nights in the Pacifica and the European, is also taking part on the Thursdays in the Americas. It's a 12 race series, but it is the 8 best results from those 12 that take place in your the 8 best results that count towards your GC. And they're also running a number of competitions within that as well. So there is the gold, silver, and gold, silver, green, and red jerseys up for grabs in those competitions. As you can see, Wouter is in his gold jersey there. He's currently overall leader, and normally is in the Beyond Cancer jersey, which is a sort of a yellow and green stripe, which I think Francois Eicher will be in there riding with that jersey. Try and pick him out later on. Oh, there's Scudlerek there. They normally, the Moon Riders, ride in that jersey, the Above and Beyond jersey, the yellow and green stripe on the white top. That's how you can notice them. There's also B. Herrera there in the Team Blue jersey on the front row, and there's Ethel, one of the real bots, in the Training Peaks jersey. Lots of different jerseys in the game. Every year with the Echelon Racing League taking place on RGT, there are some new jerseys dragged into the mix, which is always good to see. And we are almost underway. 26 seconds left to go. Ian Hurst already, I think, worrying about the fact that he's in this event. We're currently with Ethel, but I've think we'll just have a look around at who else is in the course. We're on Skudlerek now. As we are underway, off from the start, like rockets. Poniatowski in there, Herrera, Klimaszewski and Lamont there. I think it's you and Lamont on the front there. See everybody's power numbers going res. Poniatowski takes the lead, going up 6 watts per kilogram. Christoph Contant in there as well. Angelo Francois Heroica, Van Horenbeck hitting the first corner. Angelo just being overtaken there by Kent. And there are 3 positioning laps now. The first 3 laps will not matter too much to the overall race. This is the time that you just settle into the grouping. Wuter keeping himself up at the front there. Schilling going through to the front. Hart, Doug Hart there. Strong rider going through into the front area as well. Keeping themselves, business end of things, keeping themselves safe. There's a short sprint section in Canary Wharf. It's gone through it there, depicted by the orange banding underneath the full profile at the bottom of the screen there. Not too much elevation in Canary Wharf. There is, just as we go underneath this underpass, a little kicker of a climb. Not terribly bad, only goes up to 5% very briefly, but it is enough to disrupt the momentum and have people think about the gearing, and when you're into a race and tired, it can be very painful just hitting that short little kicker. There's Kent and Berman and Realbot there now off the front. Team Realbots are causing some interest in the RGT world. Jay Van Dam has been lapped and has now been eliminated. That is one other thing to note, that the lapping of a rider does cause their elimination. Ethel, Realbot there up in the front. Mallard, Kent. We'll just drop back a little bit to see who is struggling at the back. We've got Simons and Ica there. Hammond. Griffiths at the back. Poniatowski. Faustino's dropped right off the back there. They are 60 metres away. And this is the last positioning lappers. Misuraka there. And Nicholas in 25th. Reimer and Ian Hurst there, 27th and 26th. So a little bit of a battle between these two, who can make it for the longest. Wonder whether they're going to get lapped shortly in, taken out of the race by being lapped. Hurst and Reimer there coming round. Nicholas not too far in front of them. Drake is sticking to Lawrence, the bot there. Faustino just in the bit of no man's land there. Could do with just bridging up to the main group in front of him. I'm not sure he's going to make that bridge to that group in front, unless they ease slightly as they start looking at each other. That's myself been lapped and eliminated, but hopefully that'll go off the screen shortly as you see my bot come into a freeze there. And this is the first of the elimination laps, been initiated by Furman. Furman being the first person to go across the finish line there, start finish line. And Klimaszewski there going off the front of the race. Nobody's letting him have the space though, as Oren back, reels him back in. Wu to the front of this group. Round again, just about to go underneath this start finish. Francois takes the lead again. Sorry, we're on the segment now. K2 just commenting that she's always wanted to try an elimination race, and I think you'd enjoy it, Kate. Well, you enjoy all your racing, so I'm sure you'd enjoy the fast, frenetic racing that is the elimination. It'd help you with this sprint training that you've been doing as well, having to battle to get back onto the pack every time. Heroica there, Francois leading at the moment. Wu to place in third. Now we're coming up to the start finish straight under the banner. See, elimination lap been initiated by Francois Heroica. We're just waiting for the last rider to come over the line now. Faustino is still safe. He's still not got to the group, but I think we've got Heroica coming through. Managed to drop his Bob Lawrence. Nicholas has just gone clear of Ian Hurst there, and Reimer. One of them that's been eliminated. Back there, see what's going to happen. Ian Hurst pushing, putting some effort in, distancing himself from Reimer. Battling now, trying to keep away as Reimer's seeing what's happening. He's trying to outsprint Ian coming up to this start finish line, and Ian has just managed to hold off Reimer to gain himself one more lap. Oh, and he's closing on Nicholas as well, actually. He might just be holding on for longer than he expected, Nicholas there. Ian Hurst. Faustino still in 22nd. Ethel the Bot still in the mix with the rest of the competitors. Having a quick look now on the table of results, and we have got Wouter place in the gold jersey, but he is very, very closely being challenged by Christophe Contant, and Christophe is 127 versus 1260 in the overall points, with Christophe Contant 15 points adrift from Wouter now. It's a very, very tight battle between the two of these riders. Christophe very strong on the climbs. He's got a good engine, good diesel, can just push solid watts consistently. I think Wouter preferring the races that have a little bit more of a change of tempo, like these ones. This type of event. It's Francois on the front there, Kent rolling through. I think that's the first time we've seen Swank on the front of this race now. And Kate's just offering a little bit of support to Christophe over the chat, as Van Dam has been eliminated. Ian Hurst has managed to survive for another lap again. Fantastic riding for him. Ian Hurst is a regular in the PRT Thursday night handicap events. I often see him racing. Well, he takes part. He's a fantastic competitor. He takes part in lots and lots of the events across the RGT world. As we see Lamont coming through onto the front of the course. So I think it's Ewan Lamont there taking the lead. Herrera chasing on. This is a rider I think who's going to be eliminated now shortly by being lapped. Riders grouping together as Francois comes through onto the front there again. And I think this is Ian Hurst that we're going to come through and lap now. I'll unfortunately put him out of the race. He's done very well though. Yep, here's Ian Hurst. Fantastic racing. Okay, now coming through onto the start finish. And see, I'm not sure who was last coming through there. We might have one more rider just out on the track actually before the eliminations start affecting this main group. Complaints on the in-game chat about the bot. That bot being referred to by Heroica there. If he's talking about Ethel, because I think there is a bot in this main group causing a bit of disturbance. The real bots only recently introduced into RGT world. They're a bit more interactive than the pace bots were. A bit more dynamic, and they are taking a little bit for people to get used to. Ian Hurst commenting on the in-game chat there that he's lasted longer than he expected to. Lawrence has just crossed the line and been eliminated. And we start another elimination lap. Kate on the in-game chat congratulating Ian on how well he's done. So it's important now to keep an eye on the back of this pack. We are down to eliminations from the main group. So, interval training, if you wanted to get some hit sessions in, this is where you go, an elimination race. Sure to keep pushing your heart rate up. 23 left to go, guys. So that means 20 laps, 20 sprints as we're coming up on another rogue rider. I think this may be a bot at the front there as Francois takes the lead once again, pushing the pace. Hammond. Francois lifts it once more. Many of the Moon Riders racing these races now are racing for their leader, Wutterklaes. See a rider now dropped off the back. That Poniatowski. Oh, Misaraka was the last to cross the line, has been eliminated. Doug Hart's on the front of this race. Pretty sure Doug Hart is taking part in the Echelon Racing League races. Could be wrong about that. And Mike's just informing me over the in-game chat that Faustino's crossed the line, has been eliminated. And he raced Matt Hammond on this course last week, and he is strong. Matt Hammond's currently sitting in 10th to 11th. A little bit of a skill for these riders is knowing when to drop back and just use the draft to pull themselves straight through and off the front. Just at the critical moment. Simon's there in 20th position. That's Lorenzo Simons, who is 3rd in the overall rankings. But I think he is going to be 1st in the silver bronze category. Matt Hammond there, 20th position. And we have a rider there just dropped off the back. He's been distanced. Is he going to manage to get back on? As the elimination lap started. Get that rider. Nope, they've continued. There must be another rider dropped off the back there. Matt Hammond sits in 18th position. That rider at the back has been distanced considerably now. I think there's no chance of them getting back onto the group. We've now got the race results showing Tony Poniatowski of the Moon Riders has been dropped and eliminated. Heroica commenting on the in-game chat that it was his first ever elimination race and he loved it. Great to hear such positive feedback for these elimination races. It's a feature that I think is only available in the RGT platform. You can run them in other platforms, but it's built into the core of the RGT system. It's easy to set up. Borenbeck runs through on the front. Lewis, I think that's Francois again pushing the pace at the front. Herrera third. Christophe Contant still around the front of this race, going through that start finish gate again. Who's it's going to be eliminated this time? Francois initiated the elimination lap and waiting to see who's been eliminated. We are not sure. Kent, I haven't seen Kent drop off the back there, but Kent is the rider that's been eliminated. Around the cart chasing. Christophe Contant staying near the front, staying in control of this race. He's looking for the win. He's always looking for the win, but Wuta coming from the back, chasing back up to the front now. Enjoyed a few moments in the draft, but he's not happy to sit there and risk being eliminated. Once again, sprinting. Wuta's sprinting through. Swank at the back of this. One more rider behind Swank. D Hart. Ethel, who is the bot, the real bot. The real bot has been eliminated, so we have only got real riders left in this race now. And they are really looking for the win. Kate giving a shout out for B. Herrera. I think it's Barb Herrera or Barbara Herrera. Hart's pushing for another elimination now. Warren back on the front. Wuta sitting third wheel. You saw his avatar there, just using the look behind feature. Checking who's behind, who's chasing, who he needs to watch out for, how big the gap is. Coming back around, start finish. Griffiths pushes, Schilling, Klimachowski, Swank. And rider just eliminated there. Mallard. Hammond, Matt Hammond pushes on now. Matt Hammond pushes on to this lump. Breaks the elastic, opens a little gap up, and he keeps on putting the pressure on. Matt Hammond opening up a gap now. Hammond's opened up clear space to the group behind now. And they are not chasing, and he's not easing. That's one of the Moon Riders trying to bridge across to him. And his yellow power bar there. Goes red again, puts in more effort. Pushing, constantly pushing now. And we've got a big selection going on here. Hammond comes around, he's got another 2 riders behind him. Looking like the May Bridge. Main peloton behind. He's initiated the elimination lap. And Francois been caught out this time around. And he's used some colourful language in the chat there. Well, I don't think he was expecting to have been eliminated there. Matt Hammond easing slightly now. Easing. It's caused some disruption. He's easing now, letting the rest of the riders catch back up to him. See now. Michalski coming through. Still a gap. These 4 riders, the rest of the peloton not quite bridged up to them. Furman, I spoke too soon. Furman, the real bot, is still there. Doug Hart, Klimachowski, Furman, and Matt Hammond on the front. Woods Clace bridged back up to this group. Matt Hammond is not quite giving up. Still pushing hard. And we start elimination lap once again. Matt Hammond pushing off the front, but he's not quite going. Elimination lap initiated by Doug Hart. Got eliminated this time around. Who was it that dropped off the back? Skudlarek. Another of the Moon Riders team. They're losing team members now. Just trying to re-navigate around the course now. Matt Hammond dropping back into 5th position. Christophe Contant pushing at the front. It's Clace drifting towards the back a little bit now. Orenbach pushes towards the front. Matt Hammond once again driving the pace at the front of this race. Furman, the real bot, causing disruption for all the riders as Matt Hammond comes through and initiates another lap there. Schilling initiated the elimination lap. And who is it that's dropped off the back? As Matt Hammond pushes again, he's off the front. Mike is proven to be right here. He's showing that he's got strength in this race. Angulo crosses the line last and has been eliminated. This group is slimming. Christophe Contant coming to the front there. He's wearing his Pedalairs jersey there. Newly introduced into the game. That bright yellow and white twin pedals, the crossed pedals on the back of the jersey is Christophe Contant. Wearing the yellow jersey of the Vive la France event, which was promoted and brought to RGT by the WKG group, is Wouter Clace, but Matt Hammond once again leading from the front. Who's going to go with him? Who's going to challenge? Seems to be able to open up these gaps easily. Doug Hart bridges across to him. And the elimination lap starts once again. Losing the riders briefly as we go under that cover. Group, I think it's a group of only 12 there now. 13 remaining. One rider still to be eliminated. See the beauty of the Canary Wharf course now. Illuminated as Swank. It was Swank that was isolated and has now just crossed the line, been dropped. Christoph Contant holding third wheel, pushes. Going through that building once again. And Hammond again. Disrupting everybody's tempo, opening up a gap so easily on the riders on the road. Pushes again. Himself in first position. See Griffiths there looking back to see who is with, who's going to be eliminated. Lap started by Matt Hammond there. Place. Hammond through on the front again. Furman, the real bot. Surely this race cannot be won by a real bot. Wuter looking around at his competitors. Wuter Claes, I think, is the only one in this event who's ranked at platinum. Hammond once again pushes. Doug Hart coming from the back, pacing through. Griffiths once again comes through to the line. Furman has now been eliminated. Furman, the pesky bot. Hammond again. Just opening up. Group. Barbara Herrera there in mid-pack. Matt Hammond not easing now. He's stressing everybody, keeping the race active, keeping it lively. I'm just looking through Barbara Herrera's results. 44 results. Matt Hammond opening up. He does not want the pack to catch him on this lap. A number of increases in the rank of Barbara Herrera, but also a few did not finishes, which has negatively affected their rank. They're on silver. As Matt Hammond, Klimaszewski crossed the line last and has been eliminated as Matt Hammond started the elimination lap there. Still has a gap to the pack, but he has eased slightly. Orenbeck in fourth, pushing red wattage there, pushing on. Woods Clay's coming through, bridging up to Matt Hammond. Matt Hammond has eased considerably now. Herrera in the danger zone with Ewan Lamont there at the back. Herrera and Lamont. Herrera is putting in the wattage, going deep into the red to get back to the group. Lamont just sitting on the back end there. Once again, packs tight. Herrera, 10th position. Distance slightly now. Matt getting livelier. Everybody's power numbers flickering red. Matt Hammond opens up again. Seems to be on that same corner. He starts putting in an effort just to get himself on the front secure. Rather lead it from the front as Horenbeck has dropped to the back. Horenbeck slightly distanced and Horenbeck has dropped. Horenbeck eliminated Herrera, making a well-timed little sprint there, getting themselves up to 7th position. Matt Hammond being followed by Lewis. Hammond once again stretching his legs, opening up a gap as Wouter Claes now deciding to follow through. Wouter catches Matt Hammond, but has brought with him. He's brought with him. We are not sure. And Wouter Claes putting in the effort. Doug Hart, another strong rider. So we've got Wouter Claes, Matt Hammond, Doug Hart, all strong riders and all capable of very changeable paces. This could be the final three. See, they've opened up a gap. Are these three going to work together until the final lap? Matt Hammond pushes in again on that little same section. Lewis, Herrera, they're all sprinting now. And I think Schilling got dropped on that lap. Wouter Claes pushing at the front. Been very canny with his watts this evening. It's Herrera. Slight little bit of distance for them. They're going to have to go deeper into the red to cover that gap. Herrera in 8th position. Not quite able to close the gap. Come around. And Herrera is eased now. Barbara Herrera, I think that is the end of their race. The gap opens up to Louis. Louis in 7th position. Christophe Contant in 5th. Matt Hammond in 1st. Wouter Claes there. Christophe comes around the outside and takes 1st place. Louis pushes. Lorenzo Simons having a fantastic race now. Feel almost certain that Lorenzo is in 1st place in the silver division as Doug Hart takes the lead. Barbara Herrera. No sign of them now. Bush. Hammond once again. Doug Hart. There's Wouter Claes at the back now. That's Wouter. Wouter not able to respond at that point. Not willing to respond. Knowing they had Herrera behind him, he's just took it easy on that section. Simon's at the front. Doug Hart. And is that Matt Hammond once again through on the front, opened up a gap easily on the group. Doug Hart, Christophe Contant, Wouter Claes, Griffiths, Louis. Who else is in this front pack? One other rider. This is going to be an important lap. All these riders are strong. Sitting on the wheel of Doug Hart. Matt Hammond comes through. Hammond starts putting the hammer down now. Coming up to this corner. Once again, easily opens up a gap. He's through and safe. Doug Hart's chasing. Then that's Griffiths coming through. Who's been caught. Simons, Lorenzo Simons, just caught out on that lap. I think Hammond once again puts the power down, stretches things out. Doug Hart goes with him. Wouter Clace, followed closely marked by Christoph Contant, and then that looks like Griffiths in last position. Is it? Show me the names. Doug Hart pushes on. Christoph Contant, they've distanced that last rider. Not Griffiths. I think it's Louis. Matt Hammond easing slightly, but not allowing himself to get distance. He pushes, Matt Hammond pushes and opens up a gap so easily again on this group. Is Matt burning his matches? Are these continued repeated efforts something he's used to? Or is he burning them too soon and the other riders being more canny? Matt Hammond comes through, Wouter Clace, Doug Hart, Griffiths, and I think that will be Louis that's eliminated. Matt Hammond opens up the gap. Wouter Clace and Griffiths. Christoph Contant being strung out now. Hart, Griffiths, Contant distanced in 5th position. And Contant eases. I think he's acknowledging that that is the end of the race for him. Griffiths also being distanced here. That's a big gap for Griffiths to try and recover. I think it's going to be Contant dropped on this lap. Griffiths is not looking like he's going to make it through another elimination lap. Doug Hart and Wouter Clace. And Matt Hammond has already triggered the lap. Matt Hammond is that far in front of Wouter Clace and Doug Hart. Can't even see Matt Hammond on that screen now. That's how far away he is. Oh, just coming into focus. Nope. Christoph Contant has been eliminated. Griffiths he's now down into his blue and green power bars, acknowledging the fact that he is going to be eliminated on the next lap. Wouter Clace, Doug Hart battling together now for 2nd position. I think it's clear that Matt Hammond has sewn up 1st position in this race. Clace, Doug Hart. Doug taking towing to now. Is Wouter playing this very carefully? Doug's easing slightly as Wouter comes round. Wouter tucked into the wheel, enjoying the draft. Slightly increasing his power. Comes this corner. Any moment now, be able to see the start-finish line. Around the corner. And this is it. Opening up. Doug Hart opens up his full sprint. Wouter not responding. Of course, we have another lap left to go. That will be the elimination of Griffiths. So engrossed in this race now, I'm losing track of who is where. Matt Hammond clearly out in the lead. Doug and Wouter no longer. Griffith just crosses the line and has been eliminated. Doug and Wouter no longer worrying about Matt Hammond and the win. They're worrying about each other and their positioning. Doug Hart eases considerably. Wouter hooks himself once again back into the wheel. He's not prepared to come round. He's going to make Doug do all the work. Wouter Matt Hammond has won. Matt Hammond has won as Wouter opens up a little bit more power. Wouter goes red. Wouter started early. Wouter's gone for it. Doug Hart responds. I think Wouter's opened up too much of a gap. Doug Hart cannot respond. Wouter goes through. Wouter will take second place. Doug Hart in third. Wow. The sparring between these two riders. Fantastic. Such a joy to watch that. Matt Hammond, I'm sorry I didn't cover you in the last part there. You had clearly won the race. You were well out in front. Fantastic riding from Matt there. Every section stretching out. Just working the pace, getting himself in the right position and always coming through first in the lap there. He did fantastic riding for Matt Hammond, but the race turned out to be there in the final laps was between Wouter Claes and Doug Hart. The two of them looking at each other, wondering who was going to make the move, who was going to. In the end, Doug did the final towing of Wouter and just didn't respond rapidly enough in the end. Doug usually such a great kick. Fantastic riding from all the racers. I know there's a couple of riders there who trying the elimination races for the first time and were perhaps surprised by how well they did and how much enjoyment the race was. But it's always fun to see these riders getting into RGT and having a new experience. I will be covering the PRT handicap race on Thursday evening. I would encourage you to come along and watch that if you can't take part. We will also be covering the Heroica series race once again on Thursday evening in the Americas time zone, and we'd love you to take part in that or to come along and watch it. I've been Riley Harvey for VCN. This has been the Heroica series by Moonriders. Hope you've enjoyed watching it. Feel free to hit the like, subscribe, all those sorts of things, and we'll catch you next time.